The penultimate installment in our division positional rankings series examines the defenses of the NFC North, a division that belongs to the Green Bay Packers on offense, but is much more evenly matched on the defensive side. Minnesota should return to dominance as a defensive unit and Green Bay gets fully healthy in the secondary again, while Chicago and Detroit attempt to get their young talent up to par with the pace-setters. When complete, the series will consist of 16 parts. As we rank the position groups of each division in the NFL on both sides of the ball, each position group is ranked based on current ability, with a lean toward near future projections thrown in. Here are the divisions and position groups we have completed so far: NFC North defense vertical line, NFC East defense vertical line, NFC West defense vertical line, NFC West defense vertical line, NFC South defense vertical line, NFC South defense vertical line, AFC West defense vertical line, AFC West defense vertical line, AFC East defense vertical line, AFC East defense vertical line, AFC North defense vertical line, AFC North defense vertical line, AFC South defense vertical line, AFC South defense. Interior defensive lineman, Green Bay Packers Mike Daniels, Kenny Clark, Christian Ringo, Dean Lowry, Montravius Adams, Ricky Jean-Francois. Minnesota Vikings Linval Joseph, Tom Johnson, Jaleel Johnson, Will Sutton, Shamar Stephen, Shari Floyd. Chicago Bears Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Jonathan Bullard, Mitch and Rain, Jay Howard, John Jenkins. Detroit Lions Halodine Gated, O'Shawn Robinson, Akeem Spence, Kyrie Thornton, Jordan Hill. Analyses: the Packers have a star in Mike Daniels, a player poised to become one in Kenny Clark, and solid depth throughout the rest of the lineup, especially if Dean Lowry continues to build on what he showed last season. I think Montravius Adams will be a third-round whiff, but the rest of the group is strong throughout and should be the best group in the NFC North this season. If Shari Floyd were healthy, the Vikings would probably own the aforementioned title, but with his career in jeopardy, there is some uncertainty next to one of the best nose tackles in the NFL. Linval Joseph is dominant against the run and the pass, and could potentially play 3 technique if needed. That would open up the door for rookie Jaleel Johnson, a 4th-round steal, to earn the starting spot next to Joseph in what would be a dominant run-stopping duo. Tom Johnson is a good long and late-down interior rusher, and Will Sutton was an excellent depth pickup. So even if Floyd doesn't return, I would expect Minnesota's defensive line to remain one of the better ones in the NFL. That would open up the door for rookie Jaleel Johnson, a 4th-round steal, to earn the starting spot next to Joseph in what would be a dominant run-stopping duo. Tom Johnson is a good long and late-down interior rusher, and Will Sutton was an excellent depth pickup. So even if Floyd doesn't return, I would expect Minnesota's defensive line to remain one of the better ones in the NFL. Even the Bears boast a strong defensive line when healthy. Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman have both played at a high level in Chicago. Injuries limited Goldman to just 6 games last season, but he has been a surprisingly strong pass rushing force despite his massive frame, recording 7 sacks in just 21 career games. If Jay Howard can bounce back from injuries suffered last season, the Bears will have one heck of a defensive line, especially if the versatile and explosive Jonathan Bullard can improve on an impressive rookie season. In a division that is stacked on the interior defensive line, Detroit offers one of the weakest groups in the NFL. Halodine Gate's decline has been painfully evident for 2 seasons, and O'Shawn Robinson failed to inspire much confidence as a rookie. The depth is exceptionally weak and lacks upside. All the pieces seem to spell out another rough year up front for the Lions in 2017. Edge defenders Vikings Everson Griffin, Daniel Hunter, Brian Robinson, Dotto Jones, Efidio Nyakdo. Lions Ziggy Ansah, Kerry Hyder, Cornelius Washington, Anthony Zell. Packers Clay Matthews, Nick Perry, Vince Beagle, Kyler Fackrell, Jay Elliott. Bears Leonard Floyd, Pernell McPhee, Willie Young, Sam Ako, Dan Scooter, Lamar Houston. Analyses: the Vikings have one of the best trios of edge rushers in the entire NFL, and they showed as much by adding a year to Brian Robinson's deal and locking up Everson Griffin long-term this offseason. Daniel Hunter will be next. The third-year defensive end's 12.5 sacks last season officially put him in the conversation as one of the top young talents in the game. Depth pieces Dotto Jones and Efidio Nyakdo could contribute if needed this season. On name recognition, everyone would give the nod to Clay Matthews and Nick Perry here, but Detroit's group is simply better at this point. Kerry Hyder showed incredible promise last season as an explosive threat who can rush inside or outside, and Ziggy Ansah was impactful despite lower sack totals after he returned from injury. Green Bay has the depth edge on Detroit, but Clay Matthews has been in rapid decline for 2 seasons, though nobody wants to talk about it if he can't return to form, and at 31 I have my doubts. A lot will fall on Nick Perry this season. Perry is coming off a career year, but I still think he's a better number 2 pass rusher than number 1. I love Vince Beagle's upside in a year or two, but Matthews needs to bounce back from 2 down years to elevate Green Bay's edge rushers above Detroit. Leonard Floyd was encouraging as a pass rusher last season, but his all-around game still needs a lot of work, and the Bears worked hard to free him with some games up front. Pernell McPhee can't seem to stay healthy, and Willie Young will turn 32 early this season. Although he's still a solid player, the rest of the group is below average at this point, so getting McPhee back healthy before the season begins will be crucial for Chicago. Linebackers Bears Gerald Freeman, Danny Trevathan, Nick Kwiatkowski, Christian Jones Vikings Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, Ben Videon, Emmanuel Lamert, Elijah Lee, Cantrell Brothers Packers Jake Ryan, Joe Thomas, Blake Martinez, Jordan Tripp Lions Jared Davis, Tahir Whitehead, Paul Wardlow, Nick Bellore, Jalen Reeves Mabin analyses. You didn't expect to see the Bears win a position group in the division. Surprise! Gerald Freeman's career year last season catapults them to the top of the list. His running mate Danny Trevathan has been solid when healthy, and Nick Kwiatkowski performed admirably against the run when inserted into the lineup for a few games as a rookie. Eric Kendricks is one of the best coverage linebackers in the league, but a shocking down year for Anthony Barr keeps the Vikings from grabbing the top spot on this list. If he bounces back, the Vikings will have a top-tier duo, while Ben Videon likely joins the base personnel group and Emmanuel Lamert and Elijah Lee fight it out for coverage duties. Green Bay has somehow gotten by with 1990s linebackers in today's pass-heavy NFL, largely due to the fact that the Packers substitute frequently and love to run with smaller personnel packages more often than other teams. When it comes to run stopping, Jake Ryan and Blake Martinez are very good between the tackles, but they lack the range and coverage ability to play every down. Joe Thomas is the man the Packers call on for those responsibilities. Despite his all-around struggles last season, the Lions find themselves in last place, with their only hope of moving up tethered to Jared Davis and Jalen Reeves Mabin, 2 athletic rookies who both are raw in terms of technique and mental processing. In a few years Detroit's group could be better, but for now the aforementioned duo easily represents their best talents at the position. Paul Wardlow, Nick Bellore and Tahir Whitehead were 3 of the worst linebackers in the league last season. Cornerbacks Vikings Terrence Newman, Xavier Rhodes, Trey Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander, Marcus Sherrills Packers Damarius Randall, Davon House, Kevin King, Quinton Rollins, Ladarius Gooder Lions Darius Slay, DJ Hayden, Jalen Tabor, Quandre Diggs, Nevin Lawson, Johnson Bodemosi Bears Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callahan, Prince Amukamara, Marcus Cooper, DeAndre Hall, Creevon LeBlanc. BW Web analyses. The Vikings easily capture the top spot with an impressive cornerback group that could take another step in 2017. After a slow start to his career, Xavier Rhodes was excellent last season, and Terrence Newman continues to defy age and ward off younger players vying for playing time. Mackenzie Alexander was a corner I loved coming out of college, but with Newman still playing at a high level and the Vikings still hoping to develop first-round corner Trey Waynes, the Clemson product's best shot at playing time will be to win the nickel job in camp this season. Putting Green Bay's group in second place after an erratic performance last year seems risky, but injuries were a huge part of their struggles. Having a healthy Damarius Randall back should alleviate a lot of concerns in the secondary. Davon House played his best football in Green Bay before a miserable stint in Jacksonville last season. Quinton Rollins was good as a rookie and then struggled last season while also dealing with injuries. The talent is here for the Packers secondary to make a quick turnaround in 2017. Even if rookie Kevin King isn't ready to contribute in year 1. Detroit has a proven top 15 corner in Darius Slay, which is a huge advantage for any defense. But after that things get a lot bleaker. DJ Hayden was a big bust in Oakland, and Nevin Lawson struggled mightily at times last season. One of the reasons Jalen Tabor was drafted in the second round, the Florida corner tested terribly and was hit or miss on tape, but could start anyway due to the lack of certainty across from Slay. Quandre Diggs should be the starting nickel corner when healthy. I want to believe the Bears cornerback group will be better this season, but the projection is blurry at best. Kyle Fuller was struggling before missing all of last season with an injury, and Prince Amukamara is on his 3rd team in as many seasons. Bryce Callahan is a decent nickel corner, but Marcus Cooper has had a below-average career while the rest of the Bears' depth is fairly unproven or unimpressive. Fuller and Amukamara are former first-round picks who have talent and have flashed it before, but the odds of them both putting it all together at this point in their careers is slim. Say Thaddeus Packers Clinton Dix, Morgan Burnett, Josh Jones, Cantrell Bryce Vikings Harrison Smith, Andrew Sendejo, Gyron Curse, Anthony Harris, Anthony Exum Lions Tavon Wilson, Glover Quinn, Miles Killebrew, Don Carey Bears Quinton Demps, Adrian Amos, Eddie Jackson, Dion Bush, Diener Houston Carson, Harold Jones Cortiana Lizes. The Packers starting safety tandem is a good one. Clinton Dix's rangy abilities in coverage allow Morgan Burnett to deploy closer to the box, where he plays his best football. Josh Jones is the perfect replacement for the versatile Micah Hyde. He'll likely play a big nickel and dime backer role in the Packers' preferred three safety looks. Harrison Smith is the best player on this list, consistently dominant in coverage and against the run. Andrew Sendejo is a capable starter who has been better than expected every year of his career. But Gyron Curse and Anthony Harris were atrocious when called upon last season, which puts the Vikings' depth in a troubling spot. Glover Quinn has quietly put together an excellent career at free safety in Detroit, and Tavon Wilson continues to be a good not great running mate at strong safety. The latter's off-the-field issues could open up the door for Miles Killebrew to start at safety this season, although the Lions will likely deploy all three fairly often given their weakness at linebacker. The Bears desperately need some clarity at safety. Adrian Amos has been solid but not a difference maker on the back end. Eddie Jackson has some ball hawking abilities, but is coming back from a broken leg and will need a lot of work in his route recognition and run support before he's ready to play at a high level. Quinton Demps will likely start next to Amos, but he has been inconsistent throughout his career and is now 32 years old. Eventually Chicago will want to see what it has in day 3 picks Dion Bush and Diener Houston Carson. But the safety situation is now such a glut of potential that it remains to be seen when or if that will happen. More coverage.